Welcome to Power Electronics lecture series. Myself, M. Krishna, working as assistant professor in EEE department, St. Peter's Engineering College. In this video, I am going to explain about gate turn-off thyristor. Shortcut GTO. In this session, I would like to explain the following outlines: basics of GTO, symbol of GTO, structure of GTO, and the working principle of GTO, operation of GTO, what we call the VI characteristics of GTO, finally applications. We'll see these outlines one by one. Basics of GTO. The thyristors nowadays extensively using in high power applications, but it always suffered from being a semi-controlled device. Even though it could be switched on by applying a gate signal, it has to be turned off by interrupting the main current using a commutation circuit. For example, in case of DC-DC and DC to AC conversion circuits, this becomes a very serious deficiency with thyristor due to the absence of natural current 0. Hence, the development of gate turn-off thyristor GTO addresses the major problem of the thyristor by ensuring the turn-off mechanism through gate terminal. And the main features of this GTO are: it is very excellent in switching characteristics, and it need not require any commutation circuit because the device itself designed for making the circuit off. Maintenance free operation, high capability of blocking voltage, more di by dt rating at turn on, high efficiency. These are capable not only to turn on the main circuit with a gate drive circuit, but also to turn off. A positive voltage applied across the gate to turn on, as same as the thyristor, but here the negative pulse on the gate applied to make the off the thyristor, of the on thyristor, or we can say GTO. Means there is a possibility of applying positive voltage for on condition, negative voltage through the gate for off condition. The symbol of GTO, basically we are indicating GTO in two manners. This is one manner. This is one symbol that we can say there is a gate signal having the two lines. One is for positive voltage, other one is for negative voltage. This one is also indicating the GTO. Here also one line is placed for, one is for positive side, other one is for negative side. And this is the transistor connection for the GTO. Two transistors, one is NPN transistor, other one is PNP transistor, are connected in anti-parallel manner. We can call this as an equivalent circuit of GTO, and it has a three terminals named as anode, cathode, and gate. When we see the structure of GTO, this is very common structure as same as the thyristor, which is having the 4 layer, 3 junctions. You can able to see the three junctions here in the diagram, J1, J2, J3, and in this N plus layer at the cathode end, it is highly doped to obtain high emitter efficiency. This results the breakdown voltage of the junction J3. Breakdown voltage of junction J3 is a low one, which is typical in the range of 20 to 40 volt. The doping level of P layer should be low to maintain good emitter efficiency, whereas for having a good turn-off properties, doping of this region should be high. In addition, the gate and cathode should be highly interdigited with various geometric forms to optimize the current turn-off capability. The junction between the P plus anode and N base is called anode junction. A heavily doped P plus anode region is required to obtain the higher efficiency anode. Anode junction is so that a good turn-on property is achieved. However, the turn-off capabilities are affected with such GTOs. This problem can be solved by introducing heavily doped N plus layers at regular intervals in P plus anode layer. You can able to see in the figure. So this N plus layer makes a direct contact with the N layer at junction J1. This causes the electrons to travel from base N region directly to anode metal contact without causing hole injection from P plus anode. This is called as a anode shorted GTO structure. Due to these anode shorts, the reverse blocking capacity of the GTO is reduced to the reverse breakdown voltage of junction J3 and hence speeds up to the turn-off mechanism. With a large number of anode shorts, the efficiency of the anode junction reduces and hence the turn-on performance of the GTO degrades. Therefore, careful consideration have to be taken about the density of these anode shorts for a good turn-on and turn-off performance. So when we see the working of GTO, it is same as the normal thyristor. See, look at this. There exists two diagrams which we can see on the screen. This is for turn-on process. This is for turn-off process. It is a gate terminal, cathode terminal. Gate is divided into two parts, and other side the anode terminal is there. And we can see the holes direction. Holes direction is there from anode to cathode. Means this is what we call the current direction. The electrons are flow from cathode to anode. So when the anode terminal is made positive with respect to cathode by applying a positive gate current, the whole current injection from gate forward bias the cathode P base junction. This results in the emission of electrons from the cathode towards the anode terminal. This induces the whole injection from the anode terminal into the base region. This injection of holes and the electrons continues till the GTO comes into the conduction state. Generally, in case of thyristor, the conduction starts initially by turning on the area of cathode. adjacent to the gate terminal, and thus by plasma spreading the remaining area comes into the conduction. Unlike a thyristor, GTO consists of a narrow cathode elements which are heavily interdigitated with the gate terminal. Thereby initial turn on area is very large and plasma spreading is very small. Hence the GTO comes into the conduction state very quickly. So the second one is to turn off the GTO. To turn off a conducting GTO, a reverse voltage means instead of positive voltage applying across the anode, now we are applying the voltage in reverse manner, which makes the gate negative with respect to the cathode. A part of the holes from the P base layer is extracted through the gate, which suppresses the injection of electrons from the cathode. In response to this, more hole current is extracted through the gate results more suppression of electrons from the cathode. Eventually, the voltage drop across the P base region, the causes to reverse bias the gate cathode junction, and hence the GTO is turned off. During the whole extraction process, the P base region is gradually depleted so that the conduction area is squeezed. As this process continues, the anode current flows through the remote areas, forming high current density filaments. This causes local hotspots which can damage the device permanently unless these filaments are extinguished quickly. By the application of high negative voltage across the gate, these filaments are extinguished rapidly. Due to the N-base region stored charge, the anode to gate current continues to flow even though the cathode current is ceased. This is called a tail current, which decays exponentially as the excess charge carriers are reduced by the recombination process. Once the tail current reduces to a leakage current level, means small values, the device retains its forward blocking characteristics. We'll see the VI characteristics of GTO. Generally, the same characteristics are there as same as our thyristor. We can see these type of characteristics for our thyristor also. This is a reverse biased condition where the anode is more negative compared to the cathode. There we couldn't do anything for the conduction. The same thing is there for GTO also. But what happened here, because the gate is available to apply the positive voltage and negative voltage, we are going to make the thyristor, we are going to make the GTO off itself. Look at this first quadrant characteristics. This is the voltage applying across the anode to cathode, and this is the anode current flowing through this. This we have to remember two things as same as the thyristor case. There is a holding current and latching current. Holding current is the minimum current which is required to the GTO to be in on condition. So latching current means minimum amount of current for the GTO which should maintain the GTO in on condition even though the gate signal is removed. But what happened here? Though they are important, but when you are applying the positive voltage, the GTO comes to conduction immediately, having the characteristics like that, allows the current to flow from anode to cathode. So after that, if you want to off the GTO, then apply negative voltage across cathode. Then the characteristics are showing the diagram with the dotted lines. This is off state characteristics. Dotted line indicating the off state characteristics. Once the negative voltage applying to the gate terminal, automatically these characteristics are coming like this. Once the continuing the applying the negative voltage through the gate, it reaching the depression layer, J2 junction is going to be increasing, which reduces the current flow, and we can say further increase in gate negative voltage, which comes back to the forward blocking mode, hence the conduction stops. So there we can see very clearly this is on state characteristic, gate triggered turn on. This is off state characteristic, gate triggered turn off. Lastly, we'll see the applications of GTO. So main applications as same as the IGBT and MOSFET. These are also using as a switch in different applications. Few of them are switch mode power supplies, UPS systems, AC motor control, choppers, and inverters. And these are the mainly using in AC drives, DC drives, AC stabilizing power supplies, DC circuit breakers. In induction heating purpose also, these GTOs are using. Other low power applications. Thank you for watching this video.